I'm sure lots of things are wrong with me though, so. A dancer. Hey. Hey, listen, it's giving the beginning of the dun 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 dun. It's Powerpuff Girls. It wasn't Powerpuff Girls at the beginning of this track? 9. Welcome to WOW. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you to the Loisaida Center for hosting us. Thank you for my sound man Chris in the room playing this amazing music. Do you hear it? I feel like I'm in an action film. I feel like a Powerpuff Girl or whatever. Shout outs to Paul in the control room. And let's give it up for Jazz at my merch table. Everybody wave at Jazz. You see Jazz? She has beautiful things at her table for you to what? Buy. So what are we gonna do? Buy some shit. Come on, say it with me. Buy some shit. All right. Doesn't it feel good? Welcome, guys. Let me give you some house rules, and then we're gonna get into our open mic, okay? First thing I want to say is this is going to be live streamed on YouTube, okay? So your mama, your auntie, your cousins, your grandma, she'll be able to go on YouTube, find you, whatever performance you get, whatever performance you give here on stage is going to be professionally recorded. You'll be able to see yourself and use it for whatever you need to. So give it up for Loisaida Center for offering that beautiful, beautiful experience for us. So in case you have to use the restroom, you're gonna go ahead and make what is, if this is my left, your right, and then you're gonna make another right. And then right there by the water machine is the restroom, okay? I feel like usually you can make a left, but not today, that door is closed. So just make that right, okay? Cool. You see this beautiful center? What we will not do is tag it up. There will be no graffiti. You will not leave any trash here. I will beat you up. No, I won't. I'm sorry. It's a lie. I'm very gentle, but I will be disappointed, and you would be disappointed in yourself because we want to continue to have beautiful places like this in our community. So keep it together. Respect the space. Yes? Awesome. In terms of respecting the space, we also want to respect the performers. So I know that, like me personally, I have a child. My bladder is crap. If you have to pee, don't wait. Go before the performer gets on stage. But if for whatever reason you have to pee while they're performing, the performer only gets about 5 minutes. Hold it. Have some respect. Cool? Also, silence your devices. Mine is usually making noise, so let me take the time to do that with you. Did you see how I lost that piece of paper? Wow, crazy. Okay, here we are. Silent mode on. Check me out. Okay, cool. Aside from that, let's see. Oh, the microphone. Don't move my microphone. Don't touch my microphone. I might kick you in your shin. I will stand up here. I will adjust it for you. And yeah, that's just respect the microphone. It's fancy, isn't it? Don't touch it. You don't want to pay for it. Aside from that, I want you to know that each performer is gonna have about I'm gonna give you about 7 minutes tonight. I think we have enough time to really get to know you today. If you want your quality video performance, remember I did say it will be live streamed. You can find it on YouTube. I want you to understand that, like, if you can't see yourself in this monitor right here, then none of the cameras are picking you up. So nobody else can see you but the people in this room. And if that's what you're going for, that's what you're going for. But in case that is not what you want, stay within the parameters of this microphone, okay? Cool. No censorship, no hate speech, no nudity. I love nipples, but not here. And there's no theme, so feel free to perform whatever it is that you'd like to perform. I think the only real theme here is that the women get the priority. And so they will always be able to touch this microphone before our beautiful men. Still love you deeply. We got like one in the room tonight. It's crazy. No, we still have men, and they're doing their thing, right? Paul in the control room, Chris on the sound. Chris is always on the stage with us. So, I just want to shout out to the beautiful masculine energy in the room. And guess what, guys? That's all I got to say in terms of announcements. So, I'm going to read a poem out of my phone. I don't usually read things, but I want to, in honor of poetry, National Poetry Month, in honor of the community that I have been back in and been able to find home and a safe space in, I want to shout out King Camarillo. He's been doing this amazing like promotion for his album. He's going out for a Grammy nomination. I hope that he gets it because he's doing amazing work in our community, and he's King Camarera. Listen, I'm real Spanish. You saw how it came out? It's crazy. I don't even be trying to claim that, but it's real. It's within me. It's in me. I talked to my father before I got here today. He like the Spanish Jackie Chan. Like, he still don't know no English. Like, it don't make no sense. So my bad. But he's making amazing strides in the community. And he had this challenge. He had this challenge called the I've Been Writing These Poems challenge. And I want you to know that I myself had a feature. I had so many features last week out of time. In DC, and the spotlight poet and some of the people on the open mic all had I've Been Writing These poems. And he's from the Bronx, right, Jazz? Big Bronx energy. I just want to shout him out. I love it when the people are in the building. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read for you first, and then I'm going to bring up the person that I announced on deck. I'm just going to go grab my list, so don't be alarmed when it's nothing but a black space. I'm back. Look at that. All right. So on deck, we're going to have Zoe. Give it up for Zoe. On deck means like after the person on the microphone, you will go next, okay? I also want to say be gentle with me, guys, because I haven't read this poem since I wrote it. Oh, shit. Right? It's like it's still warm shit. Oh man, I've been writing these poems. That's mad crazy. Let's see. Oh no. I've been writing these poems. It say it's not here. It's a lie. Hold on. All right, I tell you what. I told people they'd never catch me reading a love poem again. I know, and I don't like to be a liar, but because I can't find... Why can't I find it? Oh, look at me crashing and burning. Oh. Why? Oh, I lied to you. I found it. You ready? I've been writing these poems before I knew their name. I mean, I was always a vessel gifted by God, a walking stick to make Braille his prophecy. Faith is blind. I don't expect you to see the magic, but the alchemy has always been felt because I've been writing these poems before I could hold a pen. I was a symphony of hymns sent like Alakazam. The truth precedes the language. The truth inspires the tongue. I've been writing poems in spit and flame, and everything then turns into a flood. I mean, I poemed an arc that could surf your timeline, a scroll or a scripture, prophecy poem. Picture this little girl hearing God throwing the pulse of a pen, penning a world only possible in the practice of prayer. Before they were poems, I would pray in a verse the Lord laced into my deepest dreams. In REM, poems sent to save lives I won't live to know about. I've been born in poetry before flesh. I've written poems before breath. I could be the siren and you could call my song a poem, but it would only have been written in fin and to begin again like rebirth. I second life third eye open, colored the chakras so you could Basquiat a haiku. I was a hiccup of the Holy Ghost inner thoughts, and I did not care to name myself a poem. Because once things are named, they can become a thing to conquer, and then we tally up the casualty like points. We call that war a requirement for the smallest revolutions, named it slam. See, I've written poems before they were weaponized and pillaged for praise. I was the praise. This is the dance. Shout out to King. Shout out to be finding that in my notes. I gotta like organize things. All right, cool. So, on deck, I have Trisha Petros. Close. No, it's terrible. We're gonna work on that. But coming up to the stage right now, give it up real big and real loud for Zoe.
Oh yeah. Come on, louder than that. Y'all can do better.
Should I do 2 or?
You can do 2. Yes.
Okay, cute.
Is this good for you?
I think it's a little low. Could do like a. Yeah, easy. Hi. Okay, cute. Cool. Since I have extra time, I'm gonna start with the poem I wrote a little while ago about womanhood, because that feels appropriate for tonight. I think I'd make a great non-binary. I'd wear a larger septum ring, dye my hair blue, and avoid eating red 40 because, as you know, that's bad for the ADHD. I'd have a name like Leaf. I'd have better sex. When men ask me to put on knee-high socks and a plaid skirt, to braid my hair like a Japanese schoolgirl, I'd say, no, actually, I'm not a schoolgirl. And maybe, respecting my masculine authority, these men would acquiesce. I'd carry myself differently. I wouldn't be afraid to gain weight, because as hard as it is to be a chubby Asian girl, it's different when you're non-binary. No one expects you to be meek and small and dainty. They don't qualify your worth by the size of your waist or gap between your thighs. You're allowed to take up space, and shit, I want to take up space. If I was non-binary, I'd blow up big like a bouncy castle, filling this room until it pops. Just kidding. Let's be honest. Even if I was non-binary, I'd still be asked to wear the high socks and the plaid skirt and the braids, and hell, if I was lonely, I'd probably still do it. Men would compare me to a schoolgirl, and I'd say, oh, actually, it's a school them. And they'd say, what? And I'd say, never mind. Things don't get easier with a change of pronouns, so long as the world still hates anyone they perceive as a woman or a femme. I hate being perceived as a woman. Not because I'm not a woman, I am, but because of all the shit that gets attached to being seen as a woman. I hate the expectation of sweetness, of elegance, and the constant imposition of femininity, as if femininity belongs to women and women alone. I hate being seen as a woman, not in a trans way, but more in a like, let me be gross and smelly and really good at burps kind of way. And I want to feel safe when I'm walking home kind of way. And I want to take up space and blow up huge like a bouncy castle kind of way. I don't know if I'd make a great non-binary, but I know I'd make a great woman if womanhood itself was a little bit less binary. If the world opened up the door to what that word could be past the fetish and male gaze. There are so many cis women out there right now trying to gatekeep what womanhood means, and I want to shake them by the shoulders and scream, holy shit! Don't you see that you're making it worse for us all with all these garbage rules about what a woman can look like, what weight she can weigh, and what body part she can or can't have, as if the problem is that women have dicks, when in fact women have always had dicks. No, the problem is that we feel scared when it's 2 a.m. on the subway, regardless of what's in our pants. The problem is that the scope of womanhood has been constrained to the size of 1080 by 1080 pixels, in which most of us don't fit, and we're left pressed against the margins, forced to starve ourselves until we disappear. I don't have time to trace out all the ways that dysphoria and dysmorphia intersect, other than to say they're rooted in the same systems, that they share more in common than just rhyme, and I need you to know that there's something fundamentally oxymoronic about an acronym like TERF. I want a more expansive kind of womanhood, one with an archway so wide that my sisters and I fit beneath it all at once, rather than vie for the single coveted seat at a table of girl dinner, where we convince ourselves that someone else's crumbs make a whole meal. And in getting there, our feminism too needs to grow big and wide, past the pussy hats and penis hatred and Pinterest boards of perfect bodies where skinny girls lay on white sandy beaches with their white scarlet skin. Our feminism needs to get fat and crip and huge, so huge that it blows up the room and makes this patriarchy go pop.
Wow.
Thank you. And one more, this one's new, and this one's the reason my boyfriend, thank you. This one's the reason my boyfriend wouldn't come tonight. It's titled, Why My Boyfriend Should Break Up With Me. 1, because I hog the blankets, I kick in bed. I'm a slow texter, and when I reply, it's accompanied by a, you up? Or, babe, can I have 20 bucks? 2, because I never cover the bill, even though I claim to hate gender norms, and I pretend not to hear when he asks for my help with the house or the chores. I weaponize incompetence so well that I tell him I don't know what those words mean, and I drop the dishes on purpose so he'll never ask me to clean, at least not anymore. 3, because he makes way more money than me, which means that I'll never give back as much as I get. I like to drink the wine from his fridge and to wear the bling from his drawers, and in return, I'll grant him a pat or a peck. I'm a real klepto, which means that I take things like cutlery, wine glasses, and cash. I sneak it into my purse between my makeup and rings, and he ignores how it clinks when I leave. A real gentleman. 4, because as much as I gain from his material wealth, I call him a sellout and make fun of his job. He's a software engineer, whatever that means, and spends all day long at a desk typing up code that makes no real sense. Whereas I, a real leftist, self-flagellate daily at my nonprofit role, making flyers on Canva to tug on the hearts of the top 1%. I'm really out in the trenches, groveling hard for every penny and cent, until at last I give up and I text back my boyfriend, babe, could you give me 20 bucks? 5, because I once called him a bad person for not giving cash to a kid on the train who looked so sweet when she asked. I said, you can be such a Scrooge, and I pulled out my wallet to give her a 5. Well, she left the bill in my hand, grabbed my wallet instead, and before I could collect my jaw from the floor, she'd already ran off the train, down the station, and up the gray stairs. It was my boyfriend that chased her and grabbed my things back. When he returned them, heaving and puffing and expelling a pant, all I could say was, yeah, okay, whatever. Also, one quick aside, the moral here is not to stop giving, but to do it in a way that's a bit less head-ass. 6, because he reminds me too much of the real adult my parents want me to be, with a high-paying job and a mid-rise apartment, with a lift and a doorman and a weirdly good landlord who actually responds to his in-portal tickets. Next to him, I'm too emotional, naive, and dumb idealistic, like an overgrown child living in a Peter Pan world where all harm can be undone via love and affection. Just have enough faith. Tinkerbell exists. If I just believe hard enough, the Dems will win the next election. 7, because sometimes I get sad. Like, really sad. Like, I'm too sad to get out of bed kind of sad. The type of sadness that's so heavy, it drags him down with me when he tries to lift it off because he never has the right thing to say or some miraculous spell to make it all go away. And even though it's not fair, I hold it against him. It makes him feel useless. This makes me self-righteous. He can't understand why I'm sad. He doesn't see the world in the same way I do, as this big, meaningless void where nothing I do matters and everything I do goes to waste, where I spend my days on a line of constant defense trying to fight fire with liquid squeezed out from the beads of my sweat, where all his affection and all his donations can outweigh the level of hate we endure from big corporations who've decided that DEI is the next biggest threat. 8, because he's content, and I drag him down. His world is so good. He's living his second-gen immigrant American dream, and it suits him just fine. It serves him no good when I rant and I whine. It does not spark joy when I point to the ways his work is corrupt, or call out his roommates for their dumb posts online, or when I redistribute wealth by stealing his stuff. He could live 60 years in apolitical bliss, gaining status, earning power, getting big on LinkedIn. He could move to the suburbs and start raising kids with someone, ideally, who's a bit less of a bitch. Babe, I can't make you happy. This we both know. So end it right now and just make it quick. Tell me you love me and then let me go. You pack the house and I'll flip the switch. Thank you. Thank you. You can find me on Instagram at Zoe Fuad, which is ZOEFUAD. Thank you.
Give it up for Zoe. No. I don't know what happened to you guys, but give it up for Zoe like she just lowered the price of eggs. Oh yeah. I just want to say, Zoe, that was some amazing shit. What'd you say? You said, I also hate expectations of sweetness. But, like, women have always had dicks. It's crazy, because, like, the simplicity of that honesty, it's never made it into my poems. You are the truth and the light and the way, young lady, okay? So, on deck, I have Storm. And coming up to the stage right now, everybody, give it up for Trisha! Oh, no, yeah, wait, no, Trisha, don't come up here for that. That was, get it together. Was somebody choking? Get it together. All right, give it up for Trisha!
so true. No, I thought both cheers were just as good, so it's okay. We're tired. It's been a long day. My name is Trisha. Nice to meet you all tonight. I'm gonna start off with 2 poems, and then I'll end with kind of like a little, I guess, writing, if you will, from like a journal style prompt. I'm gonna start like sad and then end happy. So this first one is called Decay. It was just kind of inspired by all of the death that has been happening lately between Palestine, natural disasters, just fucking everything. So wrote this one just when I was in my thoughts and couldn't get out of it. A battleground of bodies, both big and small, make the world seem not unreachable, but tall. The smell of uncertainty radiates the air, matching the circuits of despair that revolve around the souls that inhabited this ground once before. The draping eyes that formerly could see are now indefinitely swollen shut. Instead of looking at the extremities of life, they have entered a new realm only seen after the exodus appears. Within the cascading realness of death, small pockets of light can be seen. Beneath the rotting carcass and unmeasurable circumstance of time resolved, there once was a life. This life represented light and has now returned after darkness. Through the uncertainty, one thing stays true. Through decay, the remains will grow into something new. Thank you. And then this one is a little cheeky poem about loneliness. In my attempt to beat loneliness at its own race, I've chosen peace over loveless love. I've learned the hard way that I'm a giver who has never actually been given permission to take. I've unattached body from mind too many times to know that whether loved or not, it will produce a predictable outlet for my rhymes. At what point will my cynical faith turn into requited release? Imprisoned by my own accord, I can't help but wonder if I'll ever taste the sweet nectar of that choreless love, the kind that feels like one friend with many faces, or that person on the coldest days who can emulate the warmth of the sun. Although the run from city to city might hide hope's reflection, a new narrative, a rewrite per se, of this unenthused writer's heart could possibly do the trick. Thank you. And now I'll end with a happy one. Yeah, happy shit. I feel like I've been in like a low place lately, so I was rereading some of my past like Substacks and journal entries over the years, and was like, I came across one about happiness, and I was like, damn, maybe like I was happy once, so I can be happy again. So yeah, this one I guess is just giving a little bit of that hope on one of those days. It seems after all this time, I've been treading through life with an unknown weight, and suddenly it's disappeared. The anxiety, fear, and depression aren't so heavy anymore. Instead of treading, I think I could actually be swimming. Could this feeling be happiness? It's funny that something I've been striving to achieve for so long now feels like a foreign object. And ironically, that makes me sad. I want to live a life where happiness is welcomed instead of questioned. But of course, my mind keeps pestering itself, asking, why are you here? How long will you last this time? Are you just visiting? Are you here to soften the blow in preparation for the depression to come back? Is my mind just not a habitable place for happiness? But most importantly, are you here to stay? Happiness, I hope you become a part of me instead of a fleeting piece, a friend instead of a stranger. Maybe I don't need to be afraid of you. Maybe I just need to trust you. Maybe I need to believe that you've always been here, just in a dormant place, awaiting an awakening. In that case, thank you for never leaving me, and I guess it's nice to see you again. Thank you. I mean, they were a hard act to follow, but my name is Trisha Patras. You can find me on Instagram. My handle is A Chain of Thoughts, or just Trisha Patras for my personal. But I also host a little creative writing workshop that starts with a meditation, and it's followed by an hour of writing, and then like a sharing group every other Friday at the Plant Shed in East Village at 8:30 a.m. So I'm pitching myself if you just need some accountability to come write, want to start your weekend off in a peaceful way and kind of like just release all the stress from the week, then come join me. The first one is this Friday, 8:30, Plant Shed. Thanks so much.
She's amazing. I like that. I think that one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself as an artist in any art form is practice obedience. And you know, holding yourself accountable by making sure you make a workshop is a phenomenal way to practice that obedience to your craft. So thank you, Trisha. That was amazing. Also, like, you're saying it was so hard to follow Zoe, but the idea of a choreless love made me so hot I done came up out my hoodie. It's such a wonderful idea. Anyway, on deck, I got all the way from the merch table. Get out of town. We got Jasmine G all the way from the merch table. She's on deck, but coming up to the stage could be a superhero. Give it up for Storm. I don't know, maybe she could be a villain. Are you a villain, or are you feeling more like a superhero?
No, I think I'm here. Thank you.
Is this good for you?
Yeah, I think so. Cool. Storm, this is new shit. In Florida, I was trained to put the hurricane shutters up early. What use is an impatient band-aid to a knife still in motion when the room inhales frost and the plates smash on the ceiling and the furniture is so far gone they can't remember the hands that raised them? Wouldn't you too put up shutters on the inside? Be a good neighbor and contain chaos as casually with no casualties as possible. Here our categories are measured up in fistfuls, cement a wall so beautifully it breaks from the pressure. We don't need contractors for contradiction, so call it what you will. Immortality eats good when there's blood in the water, and maybe it's just easier for solace to find us when we're part of something greater. I try to be the lesser evil in the room, so I cover the mirrors so the smoke make catacombs of the creating cracks now. I realize I can't sit still with both my feet flat on the ground. At least not sober. At least not till my exit points feel less like spider webs. At least until it matters like I get kettled symmetrically, but maybe it's meant to be like I too can't let shit go. But I don't know how to treat tragedies like a book of X's, but sometimes impact reads just like a hug. It's so easy to stilly see a tsunami form like the birth of someone unburdened to never get to know. And forgiveness feels so much like a first aid kit. I pray I'll never need to use it. Afraid it'll be so bad I won't know how, and the thing about wounds is they need pressure for blood to slow. And storms like these don't know how to cease part way, so the bunker becomes autoclaved, and the smoke is so livid about being seen, we both hope there's cleansing in this steam. And sometimes I don't know how to react, so I just recoil. Like if momentum's the last thing I get to be, let the parting gift be retribution's eulogy. So I stock up on hourglasses for when time comes to raise a coast to the floodwater. Relatively celebrate all we are and were and will be. The sand has kin etiquette to its family after all. And drift for dreams of becoming furniture yet, and the holes in the roof skull symphonies at a howling wind, and I unlock the door long enough to consider leaving. I remember driving to Miami during a hurricane warning. How it was the first day in months the pigs left us alone, 10 seconds, 2 miles. I remember everybody we lost that year, like an uprooted beauty etching itself to existence, 5 seconds, 1 mile, and it's lost every petal but one. I forget how to separate silence and static. Like I still don't know how to exist in either. I remember learning how to measure thunder and lightning through the blinds above my Nana's couch. And I wonder if at 0 seconds, amidst scoring bolts and no breath left to catch, she was grateful to at least be home. Thanks. You guys can find me over there and we can like exchange.
I love it here. find her in the flesh. Get out. There are not too many people who can be found that way anymore. I don't even think my kid has friends that want to play like on the block or outside. I don't think anybody cares about the street lights coming on. They're all home already. They're home all day. All day. That's crazy. That was phenomenal, Storm. Thank you. I too am trying very hard all of the time to be the lesser evil in the room. It's not easy when you have a 5-year-old. I'm usually the enforcer in the room. But that was beautiful. So give it up for Storm one more time. Please connect with her in the flesh. I haven't heard this in so long. She's got to be an amazing person. Coming up to the stage, we're gonna have, I'm not gonna say that because I'm wilding, I'm ahead of myself. I wanna say we've made it to the part of my open mic where the testosterone gets to speak. Oh, I know. On deck, I have a beautiful soul. He's coming up to the stage. I met him on Friday, and he shook my hand, and he tried to crush it. And so I want to say that's a businessman in the making if I've never met one, okay? But he did come in today. He's fabulously dressed, and on deck we will have Mufasa. But coming up to the stage, all the way from the merch table, and rapping real hard for the New Yo. Give it up for Jasmine G.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I mostly write dark shit. That's how I wrangle it in. I wrangle her, and I call her because she is me. I am her. Darkness, the one I've learned to embrace and control. I trace my fingers over each curve of her face, cup her cheek, look deep into the abyss of her sunken green eyes, and let her frigid claws find each bone in my spine as we lightly embrace. My lips hover over hers, and I let my tongue lick off the poison I've grown immune to. She draws a slow breath. Her knees buckle, then hit the floor. I half smile, place 2 fingers under her chin, lifting her manic gaze to mine, slowly bend to meet her ear and whisper, "Good girl, it's time for you to go." I snap my fingers and she disappears. My chest begins to tighten, my shoulders tense, and my eyes begin to blur. I raise a finger to my lips and whisper, "Shh." My body steadies, a smirk reaches my lips, and I whisper to my beating heart, "We're going to be just fine. Thank you." So I'm writing these poems. The next one is this one. It's a new one, brand new. I've been writing these poems to keep my heart beating. Every word my life support. My pen is my voice, and the page is an unforgiving mirror, reflecting truths that devour me whole if I keep them in. The claws of my demons try to pump venom of self-hate into my chest, but my pen is always quicker. My hand burrows deep into their chest as the sour stench of lies and deceit emanates from the ink, dripping from their now empty body cavity. I watch the life drain from their eyes as my stained hands yank out the depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Just spread them across the blank page. Thank you. That's all I got for y'all. If you want to come find my IG, jasmineg.nyc. Thank you.
I love Jasmine. Jasmine's phenomenal. She's just now getting back into like her featuring and getting out on the microphone, and I'm very proud of her. I'm very, very proud of you, Jazz. All right, cool. Are you ready? We're about to introduce some testosterone. I'm so excited for you. I want you guys to know that this young man has been working on the piece right here, right now. Okay? It's in the moment shit. It's crazy. Coming up to the stage, give it up for Mufasa! He tall. I'm trying to get the microphone up there before you get here. No, you get... Yeah, I think this is appropriate, which is wild. Is it?
Yeah. Y'all can hear me, right? Yeah. All right. Well, there's some new shit. I wrote this while I was sitting down, right? So this piece is called Motherly Love. I remember seeing a mother hold a phone with a movie playing while her son eat fruit snacks as she is holding their jackets. I remember looking at the mother's face, seeing how much she was tired and was phased. I cannot fathom how many trials and tribulations she has faced while her scars are battle or bare across her skin, telling stories before her mouth ever does. I never undermined the strength of a mother's love, a love that could burn brighter than stars in dark skies to become a guiding light in clouded skies, a love that could make the color in the sky turn blue, a love that can heal wounds with wonder. I know that if they are weak, her words will reinvigorate him. This mother whose bones become brittle with burden, but yet still makes wave out of shallow waters and lifts and carries his spirit on her back. This mother who make ends meet before the end of the day or the end of her life. And lastly, a mother's love is like a flare gun, able to find you anywhere where eyes can see and save you in times of need. Her hands carry the warmth of the sun. Everything she touches becomes flustered with light and love. Her palms seeped in prayer, and her palmar flexion creases filled with psalms of passion. A mother's love is similar to a guardian angel. There are some mothers who's become more guardian than angel, masquerading their stone-cased feathers with serenity and a smile that can part clouds like sun rays. Though years have passed and seasons turn, I know a mother's love will always brightly burn. She will use her body to cover the eyes of her young while the world burns around them. It reminds me of my mother's love, my own mother's love. Unfortunately, time was never a friend of mine, so I know it hurts when the son is left behind. Yet I know that she is never gone because I know that she will wrestle even the sun to shine on her son to remind me that her love is never ever done. I know whenever the wind blows, that is her hand on my face. When the trees give shade, that is her embrace. When the sun warms my face, I know that those are her tickling kisses. When it begins to rain, I know that every drop is her tears of joy, that she is proud to be a mother of such a strong and sweet boy. When the grass hugs me, that's her holding me tight. And when I hear wind chimes in the soft night breeze, it's her singing me goodnight. So I look at this mother who is like Atlas, carrying the lives of her sons and hers on her shoulders with aching muscles and aching spirits. This mother who does not need Herculean strength to lift up her son to show the world the king that she brought into this world. This mother who will make the whole world burn just so her son can rest, knowing that nothing with evil intent can ever reach them. This mother who will use her own body warmth on cold days and take the clothes off their back to make sure their son stays warm like the sun until the sun shines bright once again on her son. A mother who can make magical moments out of the mundane that you will believe that Santa Claus fails in comparison to her. This mother who can turn scraps into 5-star meals to last through the night, whose money is running dry but always full on faith. This mother to whom, if he were to make an abode for his demons, will be the light and lighthouse to always find a place of solace. Before I leave the train, I engrave the scene in my head, thinking to myself, knowing that when hard times come his way, I know someone's mama got their back. And even when the world is against them, we'll be with them, even when they are against themselves. Thank you. Do I got time for one more? Or?
Yeah, listen, kick it.
All right, this one is called In the Making of You. When God said, "Let there be light," just as his only begotten Son turned water into wine, he turned his light into a luminous liquid of love and bathed you in it before putting you into the cycle of creation. In order for people to see your beauty and not be blinded by your radiance, he transformed the light. He forged some of the light to make it into your skin, and all of the excess light he put inside of you and let it seep through your pores. He thus named it the soul. When he said, "Let there be perfection," he made you into the most unique being. Attached to your soul is your own special frequency not anyone can just tap into. A certain wavelength to determine the length you'll go to grow your light to where energy you emit forms waves. There were times that God may have tempered and tested your light. But remember two things. God gives his strongest battles to his strongest soldiers, and rocks must be pressured in order to turn into diamonds. To turn your tears into triumph, your scars into sanctuary, your trauma into testimony, and your soul into serenity to give you your shine. Yes, there may be different diamonds with different colors and different values. However, no matter the case, a diamond still shine the same when faced with bright lights. You have a temple inside of you that deserves the best flowers and the best pieces of every love language laid bare before it. For you are a masterpiece in motion because there is only one you. You need not proclaim divinity, for it is already known with your presence and your essence. So waste not your breath explaining what makes you one of a kind, being in motion, for God took his time in the making of you. Wow. All right. If you want to find me, my name is Mufasa Peterson, Mufasa, no Aaron P.A. Peterson, Petersen. And before I go, I would like to say to each and every one of you to embrace the broken pieces of you with bloodied hands and eyes full of tears, because stained glass mosaics look wonderful when it is kissed by the sunlight, thus becoming art. Thank you.
Do y'all see this? It's very humbling. It's a very humbling moment for me. I want to say thank you for that first piece that you wrote on the spot here. As a mom, I just be extra soft in those places. And yeah, I burned the whole house down for my job. I burned the world down for him. So I appreciated it. This is the part of the show where me and Paul from the control room and Chris do a little dance. Chris on sound, right? And we do like a little dance. He plays some music. He throws up some visuals. I tell you what all that is about. But right before that, I want to invite somebody very, very special and important to the community up on the stage because they have an announcement for us. So I want you guys to give it up for the executive director of Loisaida, Alejandro Epifanio Torres.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And I just want to start out by saying that I'm just in awe of all of you. It's very much a privilege for me to take a little bit of this time, but I thought it was appropriate to make this announcement at the Women's Orators Wednesdays, as we have recently lost one of our most powerful women of the neighborhood, Marlise Mumber. And so before we continue, I'd like to invite us all to take a moment of silence in memory of Marlise Mumber. Marlise was more than a photographer. She was a witness, a neighbor, a fierce defender of Loisaida. Arriving here in the 1970s, she turned her lens toward a community too often overlooked, and in doing so, preserved the spirit, the struggle, and the resilience of a people shaping their own destiny. Her work through photography, film, and direct action reflected a deep commitment to the Puerto Rican community and to the radical beauty of everyday life in our barrio, which I think we're all witness of that right here amongst you. let us all hold space for her today in gratitude and remembrance. So, thank you again for that. For those of you watching at home or over Loisaida TV, you may have seen a slideshow of her work. I'm sorry we could not do this on time for our audience here to see a little piece of that history. But I would invite you to go back to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe YouTube page, to the Loisaida YouTube page, as you're looking for your performance, and also take a moment to look up Marley's Mumber. And I will end, again, just in gratitude of you all. Thank you, Caridad, for holding the Nuyorican Poets Cafe up. Such an important institution. I'm so proud and privileged that this open mic is happening here. And again, I want to end up by thanking all of you for being here. Thank you.
That is beautiful. I want you guys to give it up again for Alejandro, for the space, and for Miss Mombre. There's a beautiful history in the arts that happen here, and so that's wonderful to honor. All right, Paul from the control room, Crystal and Sound, are you guys ready to do the dance with me? Let's do it. This is the halftime show dance where I get to let you know all of the beautiful things that the Nuyorican is hosting and offering in the community. Are we ready? All right, here we go. Our first slide is up. The Nuyorican Bowery Slam happens every Monday at the Bowery Poetry Club. The winner of this slam gets $20 in cash money, okay? Listen, you can get you a beef patty, a Metro card, maybe a beverage. Don't buy no eggs. You can't get no eggs with that $20. I'm just saying. Aside from the $20 cash money, honey, you get the opportunity to come compete at our... Chris? Are you trying to turn the dance into a salsa or something? Anyway, if you win that $20 on that Monday, you get to invited to our Final Friday Slam, and you get to win so much at that Final Friday. Actually, Paul, could we next slide for me? Oh, check that out. That's my coach, Tony McPherson. He's gonna host your Final Friday, right? So if you win the Monday, you get invited to the Final Friday that my coach hosts, and let me just tell you, you're gonna win $100 cash money. That's like 5 beef patties for real. It's crazy. You might could buy you some eggs at that point. Maybe just like a half a carton of like normal size eggs. Don't try to get the large ones. And then you get a nomination to compete for the annual Grand Slam. I think a woman won it this last year. I think she's somebody's mother for real, but her name slips my mind. But shout outs to the women because they showed up. Okay, the next flyer is me. Well, check me out. Here we are, where the women have showed up at Women Orator Wednesday. So every first Wednesday of every month, I will be here at WOW. And I will be supporting all acts here. You can dance, you can to give me like a comedy set, make me laugh. You can spit some poetry. I love poetry. Anything that works for you. We are inclusive for all types of art and acts at this open mic. Go ahead, hit me with the next flyer. Now hear me, in this same space, right? Will not be hosted by me, but I've met that host. He's phenomenal. Every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, the Nuyorican is gonna have an open mic, specialized studio sessions for artists looking to take their work to the next level and receive high quality video and audio capture of their performances. So again, all of the open mics that happen at the Loisaida Center are live streamed to our YouTube channel, and the doors will open at 6 p.m. for that. All right, come on guys, hit me with the next one. Woo, you see that QR code? You see that QR code? This QR code is for tickets and info for all of our programs, okay? We got programs like the online open mic, Know Thyself meditation and writing workshop, the slam workshop, the teen open mic, 1,000-word open mic, and even more. Hit me with the next one. This one really important, right? Because this is how you get to donate. And the Nuyorican Post Cafe is a nonprofit 501c3 organization, which means we need your help. We can't buy eggs either. We can't do it. All we got is art, and we need some assistance. So scan the code. Jasmine has a code. Do you want me to same? It's the same QR. I didn't even know. Just donate or come volunteer. We like really need volunteers. Feel free to sign up with Jazz at our merch table for that. Okay. Also, I'm a terrible host. No, I'm not. I'm just, I'm a human and I'm working. So there was a flyer for the final Friday. I want to say this final Friday coming up will be virtual. So just like this, you feel me? This is how you're going to interact with the poems online. It's going to be beautiful, though. And, it's free because it's online. Get out, y'all. It's free. And the person who still win get $100 still? Yep. Oh, they changing the game at the New York. Oh, I didn't know you had it like that. I'm telling the people you broke. Now let me stop. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm so excited that no matter what, we're gonna get you this good art. Okay, so this final Friday, I just again want to say that it will be virtual, and that means it's free $99. So make sure if you're not, because you don't have to buy anything, that maybe you hit up our merch table and what? Buy some shit. Wait, no, hold on. We don't know that's what I'm gonna say. Come on. Buy some shit. All right, okay. All right. Where's my phone? I have to introduce our feature, and I wanna make sure that I get all of this great information for her. Would you pass me my phone? Check you out. I heard this man who passed me the phone has jokes. He doesn't wanna come out, but I heard he was really funny. However, I'm going to give you guys this beautiful bio of our amazing feature. And I want you guys to know that Lola's only gonna come do poems for us, but she knows how to tango too. So, Lola La Revolucion Rosario is a Nuyorican spoken word poet, freelance journalist, and a language tutor. Her first poetry collection, Daughters de Bronquin. Oh, look. I'm Borican. Why did I not get that? Was released in August 2024. Oh, it's practically still new shit. Give it up for that. Her poems are featured in the Acento Review, Thin Air magazine, LaLibertera.com. Ooh, I gotta work on my Spanish. She came in second place in Chicago's 2024 Slam Diaspora. Her social justice journalism is found in Premise Reports, Prism Reports, NACLA, Green Left, Palabra, and Latina Media. After a transformational 3-week trip to Tanzania in 2001, she realized it was time to leave the U.S. Lola lives in the jewels of Louisa, in her essential motherland of Borican. Shout outs to Lola. Everybody, give it up real big, real loud. Be proud, because we have an amazing feature for Lola.
Huepa. doing? Okay, so Hahom, I learned this by last summer from Boarani. He's an ancestral medicine keeper. Hahom is our Taino indigenous Taino word for gratitude. So Hahom to Loisaida Center, Alejandro, Promise. This place is special because it's where I first took the mic in New York City last October here. And yeah, and home to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, and to you folks for being here. To somebody's mama is somebody's mama, Jesica. Yeah, and a special shout out to Mufasa because he gifted us all with his presence, and he gifted Jessica and I flowers. So yeah, very important that I point this out when I say Palestina Libre. I am also clamoring for and shouting que viva Boriquen libre y soberana. So it's very, very important that I say that. And I didn't know, Marlies, is it? I am convinced that el espíritu de ella, her essence is, did she use her pronouns? Okay, her spirit is here with us. So, yeah, I'm gonna share a little something. Okay. They say Spanglish is the bastardization of Espanol, but I disagree. You see, for people like me, it is the sole language binding us to a place not of our birth, but whose whispers cross oceans to remind us tú también are part of me, no importa what others say or think. It is a vernacular we navigate with ease, one unconcerned with proper pronunciation, perfect diction, correct tense or gender agreement. It teases not our preferred pronouns, que si soy ella or ella or ellex. It simply allows us to exist, inspiring our identities to flow fluidly and freely in its waters, those same waters that offer us refuge from those who would rather have us drown in a river that denies us our heritage. For many of us, Spanglish is our only means of communication, a bridge connecting a once displaced diaspora to that ancestral motherland, reminding us that no matter how many times our tongues get twisted when we try to keep up with your Boricua speak, when we don't know how to say words that for you come so easily, when we don't know when to say things like, eso está el garete, eso está cabrón, none of it matters. Spanglish is our silent scream, the one you cannot hear because you are too busy mocking us, as if your English were so flawless. But the reality is real sinister. You see, you gotta remember, English is not our mother tongue, ni tampoco el español yours. Both landed on the shores of our mouths like murderous colonizadores seeking to rob us of much more than our tierras. Both were shoved down our throats so we would forget what sweetness sounds like. So we would think our ancestors, savages, whose languages needed sanitizing, and so to ensure we had something they couldn't take from us, we created this language, our language, la mía, la nuestra. A Spanglish that tastes like piraguas on a sweltering summer day in the concrete jungle of New York. A language that rains on us like veranos en los campos de Puerto Rico. It is our safe space where we do not have to seguir buscando how to fit in here. We're not different, not othered. It helps us feel unlost in a cultura and a country many of us yearn to be a part of. It is the GPS of our vocal cords. And no matter how many times our mouths take us on a detour, nuestro Spanglish always returns us to Boriquen. Ha home. Ha home. Ha home, ha home. It's a big deal for me to be here. Since I left the U.S., a lot of things happened. A lot of doors opened. Some of them are knocked down. And yeah, just for me to be, yeah. It's a long version. The short version is that Mama Africa showed me that I needed to be a mother Boriquen. So I appreciate all of you here for being here, for coming out, and for keeping poetry alive. So this one is, okay, let's just go. Bodies laid out, stretched, cold steel tables, scissors and scalpels, clamps and cotton gauze. Come take your front row seat. The annihilation has begun of that matriarchal mechanism on La Isla del Desencanto. But before we begin, let me explain what's happening here. Lest you think we're doing something perverse to your people, you see, it's quite simple, really, and of course, very much to your benefit. We call it conception interrupted, the perfect kind of pregnancy prevention. Trust us when we say you and yours will eventually thank us for it all. Espérate, ¿qué es esto? Like tú estás hablando, what you talking about? Let me get in here and give you a peek of how it really went down. It goes a little something like this. Children of an undesirable people, too much melanin in their skin, too much sabor rolling off their tongues, too much honor and valor, a little too much revolutionary spirit, entirely too much orgullo puertorriqueño. There must be a way to get rid of them all, or at the very least, to reduce their numbers. La operación, the answer to that problem, a propaganda plan implemented by el gobierno yankee, a sinister rationale, population control. Uninformed and misinformed, deceived and misled, carted like cattle to the slaughter, they had your tubes tied to prevent the fertilization of Boricua babies, all too many. I gotta ask, have you had enough, or shall I go on? Cries unheard, dying another death, laughters forever muted, songs perpetually silenced. They murdered your unborn, your unconceived, your tomorrow's dreams. They obliterated tus hijas e hijos, nietas y nietos, our primas y primos, nuestras hermanas y hermanas, many of whom would have become leaders of nuestra hermosa matria, the future of our country. Borican. An obvious threat to los Yankees. Ja, could you please stop? Because this is just too much. Créeme, lo sé muy bien, but please just hear me out. Murderers toiled and labored while mis hermanas were torn and bled. Stains of crimson-soaked sheets forever on them oppressor hands. Procedures ended. Haunting memories revisited, empty cradles and unsung lullabies, they yearned for your lineage discontinued. 35% of a fertile population decimated. We cannot know what would have become of el pueblo puertorriqueño, but this much is certain, fewer in numbers, yes. But hearts still beating, generations still flourishing, la belleza de nuestra gente mightier than the blade. We are not erased. Never will it be so. How? So, yes, home. I usually hashtag, that one is hashtag we are not erased, hashtag we will not be replaced. Read it up, there's a lot of shit going on, and a lot of us are not having it, and I'm not having it. They need to go. Gringos gotta fucking go. They spend a lot of money, leave Viejo San Juan, speak a little bit of Spanish, we understand it's a colonizing language. Visit some of the other pueblos, the 7-8, Loisa's beautiful, 77 others, and then they gotta leave. And when they leave, they need to either come here to Gringolandia or wherever the fuck they live, and they need to tell people, we're identity, we are people, we fucking fabulous, period, the end. We're not trying to be Hawaii, I understand Hawaii didn't want to be Hawaii. So, ha home.
Phenomenal and changing and purposeful, and I think that I know that we're living in a time that the poets and the artists can only really see us through, and so I want us to hold on to artists as beautiful as Lola and as powerful as yourselves, because life is just getting harder. But that just means our poetry and our art is becoming more colorful and more vast. And so applaud the art in the room, guys. Applaud the art, applaud the revolution of showing up, of speaking your truth. I have a few more people on my open mic list coming up in my second half. I'm going to spit a piece to open up the space. But after me, I don't want to butcher your name, so tell me.
Eli.
After me, on deck, we're gonna have Eli, okay? Oh wait, do I do all the women now before Eli? Because Eli, it's okay, we have time. Okay, no, don't worry, Eli. It's okay that you walked up in here and you know you strong in your manhood. We love you. We appreciate you. All right. Yeah. Thank you for showing up. All right. So after me will be Eli. Okay. You can clap it up for me or whatever. I want to read. I just want to read something from my phone. I think that because it is Women Orator Wednesday, that maybe like I could do something about women. So I've actually. I heard you did a love poem last night. It's never gonna happen again. I almost did it earlier. Lainey is in my crowd begging me. This is crazy. Lainey, if I do it on this microphone, it's gonna be all over the internet. It's all right. I tell you what, just because Lainey said that, and because I never will spit it again, it's just a nice little love poem. Actually, I sung before it last night. What? I had a guitar player. I did. Maybe I'll do a little singing for you. I want to say like, I got a dry throat. Y'all gotta relax. I'm fucking dead. Okay. All right. I want to say I had like a beautiful guitarist with me yesterday, shaking the world. Shout outs to you. I also sang for my teammate set, Ugba. Ugba, yeah, girl. I was up there getting my India RV on. Yeah, I was singing. So, I don't believe we were put together not to be together. And I don't believe there's anyone out there that could love me better. And I don't believe that you know how much I miss your pretty smile. I know we had our ups and downs, but I gotta have you around because somewhere after the dark and before the light, love was gifted by God, gravity. So while the sun had the day, the stars stole the night with shootouts of wishes, and that's how the moon was gifted to the tides. Lovers who share the sky, a conversation written in the colors of a sunset. When I say I don't believe we were put together not to be together, I mean like gravity. God gifted you to me a light, to calm the currents and bright the night, a song sung by seashells to paint us a breathtaking deja vu. I don't believe we were put together. I'm certain that it's true. Your love, a memory made in a lifetime I tried to leave behind, and still you followed me, and I caught you, a fever dream, a cold sweat and a quivering lip, a real love dressed in the slow fade of a 90s ballad of flowers and a symphony of sonnets. I feel it all over my body. I dream about you when I sleep, baby, your physics. In a world full of people worried only about chemistry, waiting for the boom, you are the swallow of a flame. I am a phoenix dying to fly ablaze through your chest like thunder. You call me towards you, rain, reincarnated into the gentle rock of a wave. We flirt, a mermaid's fin and a wolf's fang, a fairy tale, a fantasy. I dream about you when I sleep. And then they like, hey, get out! Don't stand up for this! You gotta relax! Oh! What's happening? Y'all gotta relax.
Never let that be the last time. Don't rob the world like that.
Hear me, because Lainey was in the front row begging, it won't ever be the last time. It lives online now. You can rewind now, play it again. All right, give it up for you guys. Eli, right? All right, so I have coming up to the stage a musician. Is the music ready, my sound guy?
What's the musician's name?
Eli, his name's Eli.
Eli, you gotta come over here and wait to go next. Okay.
Oh, so we're not gonna have Eli on deck?
We're gonna have Eli, let's do him on deck.
Okay, no problem. So I tell you what, because I had to do something for you. I know that I usually call up my next performer as on deck before, but I know this young woman, and she's also 9th in the world for women of poetry, by the way. She's also the captain of NYU Slam Team. She's also just a very amazing soul and a bright light in the life that is mine. And so I want you guys, because on deck now is Eli, but coming to the stage, give it up for Lainey, the poet. Come on.
I love you too. Oh, we're the same height. You don't gotta do much. You don't gotta do too much. It's okay. You're welcome. Well, I got a question. Do I have time to do 2? Yeah. Really? Okay, yeah. So I want to do this poem for y'all that I wrote this week, like in class. Do y'all know who Keith Lamar is? I don't know if y'all know who this guy is. Okay, he's this guy. He's in prison right now. He's been in he got in prison when he was 19. Now he's 55. And he got in prison for murder, which he did do, but now he's serving more time for something that he didn't do because there was something that happened in the prison. And although he's in solitary confinement and he's been there for the past 30 years, he makes music through Zoom. And he's been on world tours, through musicians will just come and play with him for free and just bring him and take him through the world. And we got to talk to him on Zoom in our class. And so I wrote a poem about him while I was talking to him. And I don't know, I just wanted to talk about it because he's pretty cool. If y'all give me 1 second. Okay. Today I spoke to a man who was arrested when he was 18 and today is 55. He wanted to listen to a song with me, a prayer for Mr. Davis. He said what he's chosen to do with himself despite what this system has tried to do to him is jazz, is music, is improvisation. The song he showed me sounded like sunshine, swept its way across my eyes. He said, we only have a short moment in time to become ourselves, to express. He said, to be deliberate in the way I invest myself, said to do my work. And I wondered what my work was, if it extended past the classroom, through the shaky Zoom that held our conversation. Was his work teaching me that fear is not bad, that this is the moment of pure creation? I was scared to talk to him. What could I tell him? That the silence had not already taught him. Instead, I listened. And he says, victory gave him confidence. And I could not think of what I won, though we all know what he has lost. Perhaps Christ was right. To die is game. Willie told him we were scared, that the men in power seemed inevitable, and he said there is always light in the darkness. The question is not whether we will go forward. The question is whether we will give our power over in service, in darkness or light. And he says the pendulum will swing. Trump is extreme, and it will go extreme, but it will swing back again. He said to be ready and to do our work. Says they want us to be trapped in the situation, so trapped we will not tell our story. And I do not know my story. And he says he does not want to live if he cannot be himself. And I feel as though I should weep. I should say, I am not too far from where he sits now. I too found myself in the back of a cop car and thought my black blended too well with the seats. I did not deserve to get my case dropped, but I did. He does not deserve to be on death row, but he is. And he is worlds greater than I am. I can only hope to know what he knows. He knows what he's done with his time. He knows he has done his work. And I think I was a part of it. How great to be a part of it. Thank you. sorry. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. You should totally look him up. He literally has albums on Apple Music, which is so crazy because every time you hear his voice, thinks he's literally in solitary confinement, and that's his voice on Apple Music. Crazy. Wow. Like, musicians are so cool, and what we can do for each other is so cool. And also, like, I don't know, none of us are too far to do that for a poet who's in prison, you know? Right. So there's just, it's so cool to say we can talk to each other. Anyways, I wrote this other poem, and then I'm gonna get off stage and shut up. His name is Keith Lamar. It's spelled like, especially like exactly how you think it's spelled, like Keith Lamar. Okay. He's so cool. You can just Google him. It's crazy. And his whole story's out there. Look into it. Donate to HIT. He's set to be executed, I feel, in about 3 years. And they're still currently working to raise money for his case. So, you know, do what you can. This other poem I wrote, it's called Boy You Best Live. And I hope y'all like it. And I would love to hear if you have any notes about it because I'm trying to get it right. Thanks. I've never been fast enough to outrun my mind, let alone a slug shot. Swore someone rustled in the bushes that night. Tapped at my back window like a thief, breaking into what's broken already. You blame my black brain for breaking itself first. Claim I always thought someone was after me. Officer Grayson was after me, hunted like a horned hog, even murdered, sloppy, mixed brain matter with boiling water. You watch his white mask melt. Mama asks for nice officers, as if police and protection could exist in the same sentence. I have paranoia, but she had apophenia. Guess we both saw things that weren't there, like hope. After I asked them not to hurt me, officer feared a fire, like he had felt flames before, backed away, like I was the threat, a ghost in a nightgown, an untamed flame. Bet I'd have survived a burn better than his bullet. Ain't no sheriff shot sick black girls in their own kitchen. Drained black blood from bodies like pasta from a pot. Slug shot me into a dream I ain't woke up from yet. But I've rest like a rag laid on my father's arms. Mama says when all is lost, call on the Lord. And how could we know that I rebuke you in the name of Jesus would summon Satan? Grayson says he feared for his life, and I never knew there was so much power in a name. Said, you better fucking not. I swear to God, and God's eyes were watching. His finger pulled the pin. Strike, ignite the barrel. I barely knew if the darkness could come to light. Said an intruder took my life. Wounds self-inflicted, half true. I opened the door to a demon dressed as a deputy. You took a lot from me. But what an honor to be remembered more as a martyr than a mother. Dear Malachi, I heard you call me a superhero, and I wish I could have saved you from grief. See, they question you more than him nowadays. But you just say that I was your mother, and you're right, baby. I am your mother in your whole heart. You too, the last breath in my lungs, the last thing I loved with the love of the Lord, and we're both waiting to welcome you now. I'm happy you won the settlement. But don't you settle for a half-hearted life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. After morning, boy, you best live like your breath is boiling water. Thank you.
Shout outs to Lainey. Lainey, come tell us where we can find you at.
Lainey the Poet, LANEYTHEEPOET, or just come talk to me. I'm pretty chill.
I love Lainey. I love, again, I was just talking about like how our poetry is so needed at the time, and the things that we're doing with it are actively a revolution. We're actively rebelling. We're activists. That was a riot, if you ask me. And so, again, just give it up for Lainey. I got two more beautiful acts on my open mic, and on deck is a legend. There were a lot of legends in the room tonight, but not only is this beautiful spirit a legend, she is also the executive director of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. So on deck, I have the amazing, the phenomenal, incomparable La Bruja, okay? But coming up to the stage, give it up for Eli. No. I know. Eli, go back. I know you can do better. My 5-year-old is louder than you, okay? By himself. So go on and give it up for Eli.
Appreciate it. That's funny. So yes, I go by Eli G's.
Eli, you missed the rules. Don't touch my microphone. You need me to raise it?
Yes, I'll just get it a little bit more higher. Thank you. Appreciate it. Wait, yes, I go by Eli G's. I'm an artist from Brooklyn, and in honor of Women Orator Wednesday, I'm gonna perform a song that I made about my girlfriend. It's been a while since I performed this, so just bear with me if I do mess up. It's called Fiend's Lullaby. Okay. Thank you all for being here as well.
Never be a secret. You keep something as complicated as love stored up inside, it can make you sick.
Her lips like a cloud transform me to the sky. If I'm with her, call it detox. This is that natural high. If they said she wasn't dope, please believe that's a lie. Can't go a day without her, this a fiend's lullaby. Met her at the crossroads, no bone thugs in harmony. I didn't play the lotto, but I still won the lottery. Glimmer like a diamond, skin milkier than chocolate. Smile fine like wine, voice like a wind chime. A queen from Queens and a king from the county. They put money on our head, the unhinged one our bounty. Bachelorettes trying to scout me. I'm turning down ass, I'm satisfied with the booty. This treasure's filled with cash. The spark is like a lightning storm. My feelings grow every day. This is not their final form. No Netflix and chill. We HBO into the max. A Lovecraft country filled night with some sex and some snacks. She talk and I listen. Hope she sees my admiration. Phone filled with selfies. Those my daily affirmations. We exchange love languages and I got hers memorized. Quality time, acts of service, gifts, and affirming words. Roses are red and the past was looking blue. Her favorite color is pink, like Killer Cam in the mink. LL Cool J, I need love. 50 Cent, 21 questions. Some may call this corny, but I block out their suggestions. Transport me to the sky. When I'm with her, call it detox. This is that natural high. If they said she wasn't dope, please believe that's a lie. Can't go a day without her, this a fiend's lullaby. Her lips like a cloud, transport me to the sky. With her, call it detox. This is that natural high. If they said she wasn't dope, please believe that's a lie. Can't go a day without her, this a fiend's lullaby. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys can find me on Instagram and everywhere. I have songs streaming on all streaming platforms at Eli G's. ELIGZZZ. Thank you.
I just want to say that was freaking awesome. If my girlfriend is watching at home, you better go on and write me a verse. I know you can rap. Yeah, Eli, you done raised the bar on the game. You feel me? I'm not cooking until you write me a verse. Hair flip. So, last and certainly never least, coming up to the mic, I have no idea what she's gonna do. She's actually so vastly talented. The lady could come up here and start to dance for real. I don't know what you're about to get, but I know it's gonna be amazing. So give it up for La Bruja!
Yo, show some love for your host. You know what I mean? Grand Slam champion. Don't that roll off the tongue beautifully? Grand Slam champion. Yes, boo. That is you. And I'm just so grateful that you've taken on WOW in this way. You know, for the women, las mujeres. Here we are in Loisaida Center. I want to acknowledge yet again the spirit of Marlise Mamber, who captured Loisaida, 50 years ago. Like, we wouldn't know what this looked like. You walk through these streets and you could take for granted that, Loisaida didn't always look this way. And she captured our people in such a beautiful way. She, restored the dignity. And even though it was a hard time and it was a struggle, and Loisaida looked like the South Bronx, for real. And still, she captured the beauty. So, Marlise, your spirit, thank you. Yes. So you'll be seeing her photography for the rest of your lives and for generations and generations. I actually am celebrating tomorrow, will be my Bruja-versary, 29 years as La Bruja. Since stepping into the Nuyorican Poets Cafe for the very first time, 29 years ago tomorrow. Yes, 29 years, and I'm looking like I'm 21, right? That's that Bruja shit, right? But, I did, poetry I love, but, I actually love telling jokes. And there was no comedy set tonight, so you know what I'm saying? I was like, let me bring out some jokes. So bear with me. We're on some Bruja tip, okay? Shout out to our feature tonight that came all the way from La Isla Boriquen, nuestra madre isla, nuestra patria. Thank you, Lola, for being here. I have a poem called Lola, but it's not about that Lola. It's that poem. She's like, shit. No, I won't quote it, but not that Lola. But thank you, Lola, for being here. And, what I wanted to say about Puerto Rico is, Americans get a lot of tax breaks in Puerto Rico. America gives tax breaks to pharmaceutical companies specifically on the island, and Puerto Rico is the world maker of Viagra. The runoff from those laboratories are causing side effects in our ecology. We have the most erect men and the most erect palm trees in the entire Caribbean. Yo, it's hard to get a coconut. It's hard to get a coconut in Puerto Rico. It's expensive. That's why coconuts are so expensive. Yes. So, Puerto Rico is the first to make Viagra, right? And then there's also Cialis in the town of Cialis. Yo, we are making Viagra for the world. But, what people don't know is that Puerto Rico has also created the Viagra for women. It's called Vaginagra. Yes. It makes the lips swell so much that the woman feels like a virgin. The side effects include overswelling, and so the vagina might get too tight where nothing could go in or out. So if the swelling lasts for more than 4 hours, go seek professional help. Or a bruja or a santera or something, go get some help. A good indication is that your labia look like a cauliflower. That's, Okay. I'm kidding about the Vaginagra, but I'm telling the truth about the Viagra, though. I am telling the truth about those coconuts, all right? For real. I mean, people may take me very seriously, but I don't blame anyone because I realize I, too, can be very literal, particularly when it comes to certain things. Like, for instance, I can't be with a bad speller. Oh, no, I just can't. Because I love the written language too much. I mean, I'm a poet and a bruja, for God's sake. Our whole lives revolve around spelling. So... You need to be at every one of my shows. I need you. Yo, are you kidding? Somebody's Mama laugh track is the shit. I could play that all night. But let me tell you a story. So one day I met this really hot guy, drop dead gorgeous, sweet, so sweet, hardworking, everything. We went out on a couple of dates. It was nice, And We were getting to know each other and everything was so great. So, I took him home one night and I let him sleep over. We didn't go all the way, but I knew that if we spent one more night together, we would. So the next morning, he got up early to go to work because I told you he's a hard worker. And he left me a note. I woke up. The birds were chirping. I found the note. I was like, oh, how sweet. He wrote me a note. I was so excited. I picked up the note. It said, "Dear Sweaty." He meant sweetie. You were sleeping like an angle. So I didn't want to whack you. He didn't want to whack me, y'all. I mean, I felt so bad because he was so fine. But there was nothing I could do. I couldn't be with him. I couldn't be with him. He couldn't spell. There was nothing I could do. He should have got hooked on phonics. Or watch some Sesame Street and shit, I mean, come on. Everybody has standards, right? Well, maybe not everybody, but because, there is such a thing as selective vagina, and then there is some desperate vagina. And I'm gonna tell you some bruja facts that no other bruja's gonna tell you, okay? So check this out. You know why they always show witches on brooms? Why? Crickets. Okay, why? Because back in the days, women would use the end of their broom and rub a magic potion on the tip and use it like a dildo. The vagina would absorb the hallucinogenic and then the woman would fly on her broomstick while masturbating. I mean, don't come to my house and smell the end of my broomstick. But anyway, that's one way of taking care of your womanly needs. Just know that there is a difference between selective vagina and desperate vagina. But brujas, I'll tell you, we have selective vagina because we'd rather ride a broom than a bad speller. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I tried to warn you all that you had no idea what this beautiful, beautiful woman was gonna do. I wanna say that maybe me and him could get together because I spelled just the same. I would have maybe my dyslexia would have just added in the missing words and we'd have been all right, bro. I'm happy you don't want to whack me, I'm not for abuse, but that was amazing. Give it up for La Bruja. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for Chris, my sound guy. Behind the scenes, you can't see him, but his outfit is what's up today. It got like a striped top. He's looking good in the back. Nice little hat. Kind of look a little sway. Kind of want to touch it. He's a smooth brother. Go check him out after the show, okay? And then, all the way from the control room, give it up for Paul. Give it up for Loisaida Center one more time. And again, I wanna thank Alejandro for coming up here and taking the time and giving us that history about Miss Mambra. This was a beautiful night, guys. Thank you so much. And we done. That's a wrap.